Hi guys, the Benidorm enthusiast here, and today I'm going to be discussing something that has caused uproar within the tourism industry here in Spain recently, and has also sparked strong disapproval from tourists themselves. Talking about a law that the Spanish government wants to bring in, which forces travellers to submit some seriously sensitive data like bank account details when checking in at hotels, at tourist accommodations, or even when renting a car. The government are looking for 42 pieces of data, in fact, to be collected by the hotels and tourist companies during the check-in process, which would then be submitted to a database or a registry, as they're calling it, via an online application. Now, the first thing I want to make clear is that when it comes to the bank account details part of this, as it stands, it isn't happening. It's not happening now, and it's not happening on the 2nd of December either, which was the new date set after an initial delay from October the 1st. That was the conclusion of the last meeting between the government and the tourism sector on Friday the 4th of October, and I'll come back to that shortly. But first, let's delve more into what exactly the Spanish government want, why they want it, how the tourism industry has reacted to their demands, and whether it'll happen in some time in the future or not. So this hit the headlines mid-September time this year, and the UK press have had a field day with it, labelling it the Big Brother law. But this registry that the Spanish government had to collect all this data is not actually new. It was created by Royal Decree 933 of October 26, 2021. But what has happened is that its entry into force has been postponed amid a barrage of criticism from the hotel sector. Currently, car companies and hotels are required to collect 14 pieces of information from customers to share with the authorities. In the case of accommodations, the Ministry of Interior wants this up to 42 bits of data. And when it comes to car hire, 64 pieces of data will be required if the Spanish government get their way. Some of this is just basic information, such as your name, your surname, ID, address, telephone number, and so on. Then further info like your marital status, reasons for your stay in Spain, relationship between people when a minor is involved, date and place of arrival, date and place of departure, loads of stuff like that. But where the real criticism comes in is the sensitive information like your bank card number, the expiry date, even the IBAN used in transactions, which they want to be handed over to be stored on this government registry. All of that was supposed to start happening from the 1st of October this year, but its introduction was delayed after massive pressure from the tourism industry. The Spanish Confederation of Hotels and Tourist Accommodation contacted the Ministries of Tourism and the Interior and the General Directorate of Police and Civil Guard. They demanded that the regulations be reviewed and adjusted. Most of the tourism industry stands united on this, giving two main reasons for their disagreement with the new registry. Firstly, because it's going to create a very complicated check-in process, and administration-wise, it's just not doable. And secondly, because it's a complete invasion of their clients' privacy. Hoteliers stated that it is impossible to automate the process, and that it would entail additional and disproportionate manual work for establishments and a considerable increase in errors. They also argue that it implies a significant interference in the privacy rights of tourists and users without offering clear safeguards, limiting the mass collection of data to specific and justified cases. Despite the opposition, the Minister of Interior, Fernando Grande Marlaska, defended the new register and set a new date for it to come into force, December the 2nd. The Minister maintained that in the preparation of this register, the right to intimacy, to privacy, but also the need to protect the security of all citizens was thoroughly assessed. Marlaska insists that the new register is a measure that aims to improve the security of all Spaniards and all tourists who visit Spain against terrorism and organised crime. Expanding on that, he said, in a country with an influx of almost 95 million tourists this year, we must adopt precise and necessary security measures to guarantee the safety of visitors and citizens against international terrorism and organised crime. So, as I just mentioned, this new register is coming into force on December the 2nd. However, very important to put your minds at ease is that as it stands, only the 14 pieces of data that are already collected will need to be uploaded to the register. The government has caved in to the pressure and opposition, and no additional data will be required once the register is in operation from December the 2nd. So they will not be insisting on storing your bank account info on this register for now. That was the outcome of the last meeting on the 4th of October. There is still ongoing debate about this, and if the Spanish government do keep pushing, we may see the tourism companies look to the EU to intervene if it can be proven that it goes against EU data collection and EU privacy infringement laws. We keep you all updated on this if anything changes, but at the moment, as a tourist, you won't experience anything different during your check-in process, even in December when the register is in effect. How do you all feel about this? Let us know your thoughts in the comments on this video. From what I've seen online already, it seems most tourists are completely against this, and I completely get it. I just don't see why they would need to store anybody's bank details. Where will it all be stored? Is it safe and secure? Who will have access to it? In my experience, Spain can be quite far behind when it comes to technology, so creating a database where so much personal data and information is stored together could be an absolute dream for terrorists and organised crime gangs. Hack into that database and they have everything they need to steal money, to steal identities even. The possibilities if the register is compromised by the wrong people are scary and don't even bear thinking about. And I personally don't really trust in the Spanish government to keep all that data safe and secure. Some people have even stated that they will boycott Spain if this comes into effect. And I get that too. It could be completely disastrous for the tourism industry here, the main industry which most of Spain relies on. It is bonkers if you ask me, complete overkill. I also want to mention on this video the latest news on the EES entry and exit scheme, which we did a video about recently. The introduction of that has been delayed again since that video. It was set to be introduced on November the 10th this year, but has been postponed for the 4th time until 2025 now, when it will be rolled out alongside the ETIAS visa waiver scheme, which is also scheduled to be introduced in 2025 after several postponements as well. We'll keep you updated on these two new security EU and Schengen measures on future videos, so make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss those important updates. Completely free to subscribe to our channel. It basically just means that you're following what we do. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this video helpful and informative. Do let us know your thoughts in the comments. We're always interested to read your feedback. And click the beer mug in the corner to subscribe to the channel. Also, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, X and TikTok at the Benidorm Enthusiast. Stay positive and stay safe.